Hey, my survivors, it's Delilah the Survivor again, chapter 6, part 2. I actually just did part 1 not that long ago, and I felt like, hey, let's knock out 2 today since, it's a Sunday. It's kind of pay no attention to the AC. Yes, my AC is on because, like I told y'all, this complex you would think is snow and sleet and ice outside, but it ain't. I just saw a woman with a summer dress on, but yet you touch that heat. Yes, it's ready. You touch that heat, bull. So okay. So I can't remember where. Oh well, first of all, my daughter's notes wasn't really notes. She was mad because I didn't know who Harry Styles was, but apparently my son and my little niece do. Because, my son started singing the song that they was singing. I said, okay, I'm sorry. That's definitely why I don't know him, because, hello. And I don't listen to that music. Number 2, she said I mentioned somebody that technically I did not mention that person. Well, I didn't say their name. I said that, that's their girlfriend. But she said all this other stuff. I said, like I said, and I'm going to repeat it again in this video. This is my journey, my truths, how I feel, the way I think about certain things. That's it, that's all. Some people may agree, some people may disagree, but like this is my opinions, my thoughts. I mean, you don't like it, don't watch the video then. If this person gets upset, number 1, you don't have to subscribe. Number 2, you don't even have to watch for real. But we're gonna get off of that topic. Then she said, which I kind of feel her on this. She said, "Yo, hoo-ha, secret sauce," and she's like, she did the throw up emoji, but I wasn't going to use the actual words, little girl, because I know that my children, my godchildren, my nephew, I know y'all watching. So, no, I'm not going to put out, the actual words. Not to mention, really, I don't cuss. When have you ever seen me actually use those words like that? I'm just saying. So then it was that, and then it was, oh yeah, when I said something about my mother calling me, she got waiting. I said, ooh, there she go calling again. My bad, but that's what was happening at the time. I'm sorry, Miss Thing. But oh yeah, good news, guys. I kind of got this whole thumbnail figured out, but I'm not gonna be doing the average, those little fake thumbnails that some of these YouTubers. I mean, I will be having a chapter or even an episode about my favorite YouTubers, because I feel like they're doing something different than, they're doing something similar to what other people are doing, but to me, they bring entertainment to it. And like I know it's certain YouTube family channels, I'm like, really, like, you're over exaggerating. Like, your whole title and your thumbnail, stop it. Just stop it. So, okay, let's start this episode 2. So like I said before, I'm thinking I'm still gonna have this house, but no, I was reported. I'm not exactly what was said, but I lost everything down to I was mentally unstable, and I don't know what else was said, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't positive because I lost everything. And still to this day, I am highly pissed off by that, especially knowing that right after I supposedly done this, they turned around and did it too. So what's the difference in you doing it and what I did? make the math, please. Because right now, I'm not getting the mathing. So anyway, I was stuck. I thought I was moving out of that mail in his father's house in September. But then I found out, I was reported and everything was taken. And, like, all my mail and stuff was, like, sending me these awful notes. But then, because then I found out, like, when I was living with them one time, I was like, shoot, I got my daggone Aunt Flo. Let's call it Aunt Flo. I got freaking Aunt Flo. He was mad because he was like, shoot, what do you mean? I was trying to get you. What? Trying to get me pregnant. Why? Isn't my 4 enough? So, my number 5 becomes a blessing in disguise. We'll discuss that when I get to my whole health issue. But my number 5, sorry y'all, I still can't help but to play with my head. So, okay, that happens. And then, I think the next month, yeah, because another vagina male, mind you, the guy I was with did not lay hands at all on the vagina male. He was actually pissed off at the little faces that he was making to his woman, me. So he goes, files a report, and now we was going to out of town that very day, and here come the police, and I just so happen to have the keys in my hand, his keys in my hand. So the officer snatched the keys out of my hand, and I'm not sure if they're allowed. I'm not used to this. They snatch the keys out of my hand. They go into the residence, and like he's like, I don't know if he was thinking about jumping off that balcony and trying to run or what. I know he's calling his father at this time. So they take him in because he pressed charges. I'm not even sure what the charges said. I just know at the end of the day they got dropped. And the only time he did, this is how I found out, when they send them helicopters in the air, it costs money. Because the prosecutor was like, well, he's a prosecutor. I don't know if it was his public defender or the prosecutor. I really don't remember. This was so long ago. But they was like, but his other charges is dropped because the vagina did drop him. He was like, but, which, the deal I'm talking about is a vagina too. Y'all know why. Did my shoulder thing? Yeah, I had a huge, he's a vagina too. But anyway, he was like, he dropped those charges, or those charges are no longer standing. But they was like, once we put that helicopter up in the air, do you know how much that costs? So he basically had to do time for the helicopters and for making that dumb, stupid phone call. People, please, unless you really need help, please don't call 911 talking about you want to do something crazy to yourself, or you feel like you want to end your life, because if that's not how you really feeling at that moment, and they find you and they consider, oh, you just playing on 911, yeah, you can do time for that, basically. So while he's locked, he didn't get that much time, but while he's locked up, I'm feeling funny. Like, all of a sudden, like, I'm sick all the time, and I will go visit him, because it wasn't like he was at, like, the freaking county, like, little county jail, like, Towson. I can say Towson. He was at Towson. So I would go visit him whenever I could, and, like, I would talk about how I'm feeling and all sorts of stuff, and he's like, you pregnant? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And every time I would go see him, he kept telling me I was pregnant. No, can't be, couldn't be, no. Sure enough, I go get a pregnancy test because, yes, I missed on flow. I go get a pregnancy test. And guess what? I'm looking at it, and I like just slid down the bathroom wall, and I'm like, this cannot be happening to me right now. I don't even have a stable place to live, and really, like, this is what we're doing. So I went out, I went to the kitchen, I told his father, I said, I'm pregnant. So, he was like, not mad, he was all like, all right, we're going to handle this, and positive, positive, supportive kind of way. And then he tells his girlfriend she's pregnant. I'm not sure how his girlfriend took it, but he was like, she's pregnant. So then next thing you know, because where they were at was like an expensive area, so, and only 1 bedroom, so we go looking for 2 bedrooms. Okay, that's cool. I'm thinking, all right, I got somewhere to go. So we go looking for 2 bedrooms. Mind you, he's still locked up. Cool. Glad to hear it. I had gotten used to him being locked up. And like the one visit I went to go see him, like this was about, number one, the best birthday present ever. On the day of my birthday, I found out that I was having a baby boy. I had already picked out girls' names and all that, because I said, God not going to give me all these boys and only 1 girl. But sure enough, on the day of my birthday, you're having a little boy. Yes. For some strange, well, no, not yet, not just yet, but anyway. So I went, and I had a little stomach when I went to go visit him one time. He was like, stand up, he was all proud, and he was showing his other inmates, the other inmates in there, like, that's mine right there, that's my baby right there. I said, we're having a boy, that's my son in there. Okay. So he gets out. And mind you, at this point, I'm used to him not being there, and I was actually happy that he wasn't there, but all of a sudden, he's out, and I'm like, I don't know if it was a pregnancy or just me, like, not missing the mental and physical abuse. Maybe that's what it was. So I'll never forget one night, he was making false allegations of me and a family member of his. We don't not say what family member, but a family member of his. And every single time I would swing back, he would swing even harder. And he wasn't dumb by far. It would never touch my face. It was like places where like at this moment, it was like on my thighs. So but the thing is, I could take him. Like, I was taking him like, yo, this ain't nothing for real. Like, what is this, a mosquito bite? So I would take him. So I would think it wasn't that bad until I go to use the bathroom and I see these bruises so far up my leg and so dark. Like, I had no choice but to show his fault. I'm like, look at this. He's like, oh my God, no, he didn't. I said, yes, he did. So it was another time where, like, I'm leaving out the house. I'm about to go by. He pulls me by my ponytail and makes me fall. Matter of fact, before then, I was so pissed off, I decided to lay on the floor. Now, I'm texting my legal husband. I'm texting him because I know, like, he's on his way to work. And I'm just like, hey, what's up, whatever. So I think he could see that I was, at one point I was online, or like he heard my phone going off or whatever. But he was like, "Who you texting?" And I will crush that phone. I will smash your face in. And I'm like, are you serious? It's not nobody I'm messing with. This is the man that he claims 4 of my children. We had 2 children together. Why wouldn't we be in contact? Because our 2 children together was still kind of young. So that's why the fact that my kids was stable, like stable in schools and stable where they was at, that's why I didn't want to rush, because I knew at that time I was not stable. So like I said, he pulled me by my ponytail. I went down. I called the police. So because I called the police, that complex took that as a red flag. So they send over their people taking pictures of different things, and he was like, my girlfriend come over for time to time, so that's why her clothes here. And really, it's a 2-bedroom, so whatever. Like, you know, his son clothes was just like, oh, they could be his or whatever, because you know they're men clothes. But nothing happened from it. They ain't like they got put out or nothing. Everything was still fine. But at the same time, I no longer want, this would make me no longer want to be there. So it was one point, me and my cousin was there, and I'm holding a plate of spaghetti. Everybody know I love to eat. So I had my keys in my hand. He don't want me to go, and I'm holding my plate of spaghetti. Mind you, I'm thinking I'm not dropping this plate of spaghetti. He didn't snatch all of my keys. I still had my keys, but like till this day, it was keychains on there that meant something to me, and now I no longer have, because of this rectal orifice. Like, I'm not sure. I believe, matter of fact, when I first got my car, I had gotten, actually, when I first moved into these apartments, I had bought it's a cross hanging up on my wall. It's like my favorite quote, because when I got my car, I felt like I did this myself. I did this. So I had the keychain saying I can do all things through Christ, which strengthening me. And like, to lose that, I was so pissed off, because I did something on my, like, I did that. I got my car, and I got it for my apartment, because it was like, I'm taking care of this. Everything that goes on in here, I'm dealing with it. I'm taking it. I'm being a whole mojo. So I had to drop the key off there one day. I hid my phone in the couch, because it was a huge, nice recliner. And like, it had these different compartments. So I hid my phone. I turned my phone volume low. And I had hid it in the living room couch, because I knew how he was when it came to taking my phone from me. And mind you, I knew that his father's girlfriend was in the other bedroom with the door shut. Let me tell you what this bastard, that's not a bad word, when I was a kid growing up, that's what Splinter used to call, I can't remember the 2 dummies they used to work for him, but that's what Splinter used to call him. So, he gets mad because I want to leave again. And like, when I tell you, he yoked me up, that we was by the window. He took his arm and wrapped it around my neck so tight. He had his hats hanging up above the closet. Mind you, I'm still pregnant with my son. He yoked me up, and I'm standing like, I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. Like, I'm just thinking to myself, oh my gosh, me and my baby, this the last day for me and my baby. Like, I'm never going to meet my child. I'm never going to see my other 4 children again. His hat was like turning white. And like I said, I'm like trying to hit him, like, stop, I can't breathe. And finally he lets go. And I'm like, oh, yes. So he tries to be dramatic. He puts on his picture of his other son and our son's sonogram picture. And he's acting like he's about to off himself. And I'm like, boy, I don't care. I peace out. Do what you gonna do. You're doing it. This is right now. This is just for show. So I can't remember how all of a sudden it was like too toxic for me. So all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm going from place to place, or I'm like parking my car in different parking lots to go to sleep. Like, that's what I had to do. I was literally sleeping in my car. Mind you, I am seriously pregnant. And I'm sleeping in my car. Like, I couldn't ever imagine any of my children. I can care less about anybody on my father's side. Well, you know, unless you my sister in PA. Shouts out. But his ones here in Baltimore, I can care less about, you know, where they got going on, what they, you know, whatever. Even if the one did help me, you still wasn't helping me, taking advantage of me. But anyway, bypass that. That's a chapter 7. But I'm sleeping in my car. And I don't know how it happened, but it just so mind you, I was having a complication with my son because it was like his blood sac in there with him, and they wasn't sure if he would be able to fit in there with the blood sac and him growing. So he was a high risk pregnancy, and I was only 30. But somehow I ended up staying with the donor at his father's house. And I'm like, oh shoot. I get up thinking, once again, like baby number 2, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Then I'm sitting there, I'm like, no, this is not that. Girl, this definitely is not that. So I'm like, I ain't delivering no more babies in no tub. No. I go wake up. Dummy. So I'm like, I'm in labor. Mind you, I can't drive in labor, so he has to drive. This fool goes in the kitchen and makes something to eat. Are you kidding me, my guy? And because he decided to go make something to eat, by the time we get to the hospital, not only am I like super dilated and super, it's time to go, my son was almost born on the freaking elevator. Because I don't know if you women have ever experienced it, but like my body was like moving like I was having a bowel movement kind of thing. It was like doing that jump thing. I was like, I can't hold it. It was like, hold it. Please just hold it. I was like, I can't. And so by the time we make it in the room, he right on out. No time for no epidural, no nothing. But the issue was, mind you, I don't remember hearing him cry. Then number 2, like some of the placenta was still in my body. So they shot me with morphine, and this lady takes her hand and proceeds to go in my body to get out. I'm like, lady, are you serious right now? I'm going through this all over again. I went through this with number 3. Now number 5. Once again, I gotta go through these women putting their hands all the way up my hoo-ha. No, we're not gonna keep doing this. Y'all not gonna stretch me out to the point where we just gonna say y'all ain't gonna keep stretching me out. Then I find out that like for the first minute or so, like for the first little bit, my baby boy was not okay. But now, thank God, he's now a healthy young man. So very smart. So very smart. I'll be sharing that story with you guys in a chapter when I start talking about my heart disease and everything, because he is the one who saved my life. But I wanted to get 2 out to y'all today, and I did it. Now I'm about to lay back, watch some. I'm binge watching something on Netflix, and I'm about to get back into that. I talked to number 2. He does not remember the other closing, so we're going to say the other closing. But before we do, we're going to shout out Twitch's waterxbl, water with 2 R's at the end. We're going to shout out darkdemonicshadow. I hate saying that one every single time. We're going to shout out Bugs Bunny 1X. And we're also going to shout out Store.streamelements / water 2 R's at the end, XBL. Get your merch, people. Your hoodies, your pullover windbreakers, your desk mats, your coffee cups, was something else, and I'm mad, I'm on blank. But y'all already know what it is. Just please go over there. And then if you're looking for somebody to promote your stuff, just holler at me. Hey, don't take nothing to DM me or message me or text me if you really do know me in real life. Just like water in the sun, I'm out of here, coach.